Do you see these two things? I would say this is the best setup for Xbox Flight Simulator release that's on a budget. So welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about how to get the best setup for Xbox release on a Microsoft Flight Simulator. My name is Msfs. I have done a few guides on Microsoft Flight Simulator, mostly on a keyboard and mouse, but now I started to do Xbox controller, and with the new release of Flight Sim on Xbox, I want to talk about the setup. What is the best setup that you can get on a budget for your Xbox? I have yet not played the game on the Xbox, but I kind of be able to relate what I would prefer if I would get it on an Xbox, because I'm playing with a controller and I played with mouse and keyboard, and I'm quite new to it, and I don't really get into the fancy stuff, and so we will see what we can get for a budget, compare a little bit of prices, and I want to show the way I'm thinking. Welcome to the video, and let's get started. No extra talk, and you can find down in the description chapters for the entire video. And if you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you don't agree, or you might actually agree with me. So let's jump to it. To start, I want to take a closer look. What can we actually use? What kind of gear can we use on our Xbox? And on a flightsimulator.zendesk.com, they have an article where it says Microsoft Flight Simulator fully supports Xbox gamepad, keyboard and mouse, Thrustmaster, T-Flight HOTAS, one Thrustmaster T Flight Rudder, and Hori HOTAS flight stick for Xbox One. New Xbox compatible peripherals will be announced soon, but we cannot share any further details at this time. So if you have any newer information, let me know, and I can write in the description or write it in the comments. So feel free to let me know. And this article, yeah, I don't see a date on it. Oh yeah, June the 13th. So it's pretty new. But we will get to know more soon. So, but the video will get older, so we can update it after a while. So that's that. This is the stuff that we can do, and you can see keyboard and mouse is available, but also like your real HOTAS. So let's take a look what they are worth. So we go to Google, we do a Google search, and depending on what you want, there are different kind of prices. For example, here we have quite a lot of different setups, and we have I did a HOTAS flight stick for Xbox One, and we get a cheap price, $60. But here we see Hori Ace Combat 7 HOTAS flight stick, $238. But yeah, what my community friends over at Twitch, when we've been streaming Flight Sim, they really want me to get a real setup. They say you have to spend around 80 to 150 euros to get yourself set for proper joysticks, and it will become easier and more fun to play. And you can see that here on the prices as well. And if you're playing on PC, you can get an Xbox One controller for 60 plus euros. The one I'm using, this was around 100, because I wanted a little bit fancier one. It has extra colors. I paid like $40 extra for those. but I'm really happy with the Razer Wolverine. But yeah, so the prices are quite similar. And if you're playing on Xbox but you want a mouse, this is Gigante, a Finnish website, but you can get a decent mouse, everything from 169 to 22 euros. So that's the price range we're talking about. And there's a lot of, sorry to call you tryhards, but you're not tryhards. You breathe Flight Simulator. You really breathe and live Flight Simulator. But then we have casual players as me. And I don't know if I want to spend 100 to 200 euros on a proper flight setup. So that's why I think Xbox controller and a normal mouse, this is a HyperX mouse by the way, and I love this setup, and I will tell you why. The Xbox controller, if you're playing on a PC, you can use that controller for many other games as well. Like if you are getting flight sticks, you're kind of tied up to just flying games. But if you get an Xbox controller, it's a really good quality. You can do landing, you can fly, a lot of stuff, and it will go smooth. But it doesn't maybe feel real. Like, I know if you want to get the real feel to fly the plane, you want the sticks. You really, really want the sticks, huh? But if you want to save a little bit of money, you maybe use the Xbox Game Pass on PC or your Xbox. You might want to play other games. So that's why I really enjoy the controller. But if you're playing on an Xbox, you should get yourself a mouse. And you can get yourself a cheap 20 euro mouse. Doesn't have to be good. If you really want to go fancy, you can also go with a keyboard and mouse to your Xbox, because it will save you so much time. And let's jump in and I will show you why. So now when we're inside, inside the game, and with our mouse, it's easy to maneuver just by clicking around. And for any chance you want to go to marketplace, you can just click by using mouse, and to maneuver within the marketplace, it's really easy. And using a keyboard alongside with the mouse on your Xbox, the writing will be so much easier. Okay, here we have. We can buy a Helsinki airport if we want to, but this is why I really prefer mouse and keyboard with an Xbox controller than a HOTAS, because the writing gets so much easier. But I'm not excluding anything. You can get all of them, but I'm trying to keep it like budget-minded. And if you play Microsoft Flight Sim with Xbox Game Pass, you will most certainly play other games at the same time. I have nothing against a professional setup. I would gladly get it. But I'm just thinking from a budget standpoint. So here we can just maneuver easily with mouse and keyboard right in the stuff. Same goes when we go to world map. Oh wait, so you see I can do this with my mouse, but it's quite hard to do what I wanted to do. But with my mouse, I just hold right click and I can easily rotate the globe. It is so easy. I can also use the scroll wheel in. I can even just click in the middle of nowhere and set as departure. And we can start the flight from here. It's that easy. So that's why I want to get rid of a little bit of the clunkiness from the Xbox controller. And then with just a mouse that you can get for 20 bucks, a keyboard for 20 bucks, you get something. Or you have something extra just laying around because you upgraded to shiny stuff for your PC. So that's why I'm thinking mouse and keyboard alongside of the Xbox controller can be splendid. And last but not least, when you're using a mouse and controller, when you're flying, You can do the flying completely with your controller. But what if you want to learn more? You want to do more. Maybe learn a little bit where the equipment is. Then the mouse is amazing to have with you. So, we are inside our plane. We can use the controller, but we're actually going to use our mouse. So, when you're flying, you can use your mouse to look around inside the cockpit. And you can flip switches. Like, I can have throttle control. I can flip switches. Okay, here we don't have anything that works. Close fuel tank. See? Open left fuel tank. So, here we go. How does it go? I closed both fuel tanks. But I turned them back on. Okay, those are not in function. But same goes here. I can zoom in. And I can adjust here. Decrease COM audio level. A toggle tuning box. And I can switch volume. There's a lot of small details that I can adjust with my mouse. Even though I'm doing majority of the flying with the controller. And I can try to flip switches. Just for the fun of playing. And you can even find like parking brakes, like open fuel, shut off valve. Like you can do a lot of things here. Mixture control, propeller routing. You can flip all of these things. And that's what makes it so amazing to combine these two things. And then we just go back and we can go down softly. We can do a landing here, right here. I will do a success landing for you without... I haven't prepped for this, but I did push a lot of buttons with my mouse, and now I will land the airplane smoothly on this field with my controller. And there we go. And we brake. And it's perfect. Here we are. Middle of nowhere, but with combined resources of a controller and mouse, we get a successful flight. And this is on a budget. Like if you have your Xbox and you're just playing it with a controller. If you will want to ease up your life, but you don't want to spend $100, you might have a leftover mouse laying around, or you get a cheap one. You can even get one with Bluetooth, and you plug it in, and then you can learn. You can actually learn how where to go and touch the different buttons and joysticks inside the plane, and you might learn a little bit, not just how to fly, but you can just learn a little bit of the fine details inside of the planes, and that's what I think is so amazing with the game. So I really hope you guys will have a good time, and you think my two potatoes about my thoughts about this video is worthwhile. And yeah, and it's not perfect. HOTAS will give you the perfect experience, but everyone can't afford $100 to buy them. You can find like someone's old, but I'm just thinking the average Joe might play multiple different games and just don't want to spend $100 on HOTAS to get the perfect experience. Just add the mouse, and you can use that mouse for other games as well. If you're playing on a PC, it might feel dumb to just play with mouse and keyboard. If you have it struggling, watch my guides for how to fly with mouse and keyboard. But get a Xbox controller, because that Xbox controller is way more useful, because you can use it for other games as well. Because I feel you might enjoy Flight Sim on your PC, but you don't want to buy HOTAS for your setup, because you play other games as well. But if you get an Xbox controller, you can still enjoy Flight Sim 1,000 times more, and still have use of the controller for other games. Let me know down in the comments what you think about my thoughts. Do you agree with me? You can also disagree. Like, for some, it might not be a lot of money, but for some people, it's just enough. And here we are. I don't know how to start my engines. Can you comment down? Can you guys comment how to turn on my engines? I have no clue. Apparently, I have turned off my engines. Oh, well, I will struggle with this, but yeah, feel free. Okay, Control E. There we go. Okay, apparently, no. Ah, there we go. That's why you're good to have a keyboard. See you in my next video, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want more Flight Sim. And let me know down below what you thought about the video so far. Stay safe and see you in the skies. Toodles!